Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crit D&D kind of World to Ravean world building stuff. We're covering another god within the Pantheon today. We're actually covering Tiamat, a very familiar god to those with that already know kind of Dungeons and Dragons lore. This is how she fits into the world of Ravean itself. So, Tiamat is a lawful evil deity of greed and chromatic dragons. This goddess is an arrogant, spiteful, vain, and hateful goddess that embodies the worst traits of all of the chromatic dragon's worst natures. Tiamat is a goddess dedicated to the arts of conquest and the compounding of her power. This means that she endeavors above all else to find power wherever possible and grow a greater and greater horde as a result. Tiamat is said to reside in the burning landscape of Avernus in a lair that holds the treasures of 1,000 lifetimes. From atop her hoard, she plans the conquest of all of the other planes of existence. Though living on the layer of Avernus within the Nine Hells, the goddess Tiamat endeavors tirelessly to find a means by which she might tear down the Great Divide and lay conquest to the inner planes. The followers of Tiamat, otherwise known as the Cult of the Dragon, also tirelessly seek to allow their goddess to re-enter the material plane and the inner planes as a result, where she may rule the world under her clawed grip. The Cult of the Dragon is a cult dedicated to bringing about the rise of Tiamat, their goddess that they revere, her, as well as chromatic dragons and those touched by them, or that carry the blood of a chromatic dragon within their veins. The tenets of Tiamat are based on her own base nature. Conquest, greed, malice, strong emotions require stronger actions. She's most commonly depicted here as a dragon, but a large dragon with 5 heads. She has the red head of a red dragon, the head of a white dragon, head of a blue, a green, and a black. All of the chromatic dragons. That is kind of her motif, her depiction. This could be said because she is the goddess of all of the chromatic dragons. These are the relatively evil side of dragons. They're the quote unquote bad guys of the dragon world. If you were to look at dragons as a whole, there's metallic or hey, these are the good guys, and then chromatic is I don't like them, they're the bad guys. And then there's stuff with Fizban's Treasury of Dragons with the gemstone dragons where they kind of span the spectrum, but they're all fairly focused on not dealing with you. They're worried about other things. So you kind of have the weird mix of, hey, how does this all fit? So going a little bit more in depth on Tiamat within Ravean, if you remember from the creation mythos, the way that Ravean was formed in the past was, as far as we're most aware, the gods created all of the planes as this supercontinent. They created basically this one large plane that embodied all of the different aspects of nature and the elements and life itself and ideals with the outer planes and things like that, where at the very center there was the full unified balance. There was the Garden of Eden, so to speak, where the gods could live amongst their followers. And in the past, somebody broke the planes and put them into their separated, wholly unique states of existence. Now, being locked to the outer planes, with this great divide that the gods cannot cross, Tiamat wants to return to the inner planes. She wants to come back and regain the conquest. As an evil goddess, it would not be far to say that she most likely in the past, when it was a supercontinent and they lived in this Eden, that they probably more so operated as a dragon would, a chromatic dragon to be specific, with her amassing followers and making conquests and trying to expand her territory and accumulate wealth. So it would not be a far-flung idea to recommend that this trait could have been observed by actual chromatic dragons that might have existed as otherwise historical figures as just a single red dragon. They saw this behavior, worshipped their goddess, worshipped and lived under her, as potentially higher level cult members or anything above like those lines. Uh, and that then, after she was locked to the outer planes, began to live their own lives as their own kings and queens of the world. This would leave them in conflict with the giants and things for the ordning and all of these other historical conflicts. Now, when we're talking though about Tiamat, and especially with the cult of the dragon, the goddess herself embodies the worst aspects of chromatic dragons in and of themselves. Now, that means that while you look at a chromatic dragon and they're vain and cruel and all of these other horrible things, they are extremely large and powerful and extremely intelligent. So the biggest challenge that you have with a chromatic dragon in and of itself is that it knows what it can do to you, and it is more than happy to do it to you. That's going to be extremely true, if not even more so true, for Tiamat. She has this compounded malice of a timeless perspective of a goddess who has been wronged and locked out of her kingdom. Imagine what she would do with this. What will Tiamat do to people that have locked her out of paradise? So, she's smart enough to plan and come up with this scheme and work with her followers to get back so that she can take over the world again. But being a smart goddess, she needs help. So she has the Cult of the Dragon. And the Cult of the Dragon wants to return her. For one reason or another, each individual member may or may not have the similar mindset, but they want to return the Queen of Dragons, Tiamat, to the material plane so that she can rule it again. Maybe they like dragons, maybe they like the idea of the power that they might get from being a loyal member of the Queen of Dragons. Kind of a, hey, I'm the new general in this new world order. Maybe. Why does anybody follow someone like this? Is a question that you should be asking. But they are extremely strong as a cult because of their intelligence. They know when to lay low. They know when they need to step up and take drastic action. And they know how to make it so that it doesn't appear as though they were doing something. They know how to frame another group for what they're doing, should it become necessary. So, that'll be it for the video on Tiamat. If you have any questions about how you might run Tiamat within the world of Ravean, or if you have any ideas of really good ways that Tiamat could become a bigger problem within a campaign setting, outside of stuff like the Rise of Tiamat or Horde of the Dragon Queen, other things like that, it'll be interesting to see what you guys come up with. Otherwise, if you can think of other reasons why someone might follow this cruel goddess within the Ravean setting, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you might think. It's kind of entertaining to see what people come up with and how their minds work, and we'll see different ideas come to light. It's kind of a nice collaboration effort that way. So, thank you all for watching. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, all of that, whatever stuff for YouTube. They tend to appreciate that kind of stuff, and I do as well. Either way, don't forget, it doesn't take much to do to make a difference out there. So be the difference that you want to see. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.